Chapter 61. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Naruto didn't know that the old L just now was a member of the Umbrella. If he knew, he would probably sigh, transform the ninja world, pursue dreams and longevity, and witness everything at the top. With goals and plans in mind, Naruto is not confused, even if the future is bumpy. It is also a kind of fun, after all, this is life. At this moment, Naruto has come to the oasis to rest, and when he entered the oasis, he used the transformation technique to become a very ordinary man from the Wind Country with the appearance of all living beings. That is what modern people call a popular face. You look like anyone and look like no one. Isn't it a popular face? You can't find that kind of face in the crowd. How can you be as handsome as the readers? Naruto rested for a while and then set out on the road to the Sand Village again. He didn't use his flying ability to fly, after all, he had to keep his chakra, although Naruto not only used his own chakra this time, but also asked the Nine Tails for a ball of chakra. He still had to save it, in case of any situation, he would have enough chakra and confidence, before coming. Naruto also used a sealing technique to isolate the detection of the perception and make Naruto's chakra fluctuations unable to be captured by others. It only lasted for a month and dissipated automatically after a month, but it was enough. Naruto walked quickly on the road and began to feel the throbbing of the wind. But it was useless. The ability of God's reward for hard work does not seem to be able to be blessed on the clone. After a day's journey, Naruto finally arrived at the edge of the Sand Village. At this time, Naruto began to be extra careful. Because there are a large number of ninjas in the Sand Village. Although it is not necessarily impossible to defeat them, but if you use less chakra, it will not recover. Earth Escape Nuclear Submarine, that the ninjutsu was activated, and a submarine formed by Earth swallowed Naruto and began to sneak in the soil. When he arrived underground in the Sand Village, Naruto began to use Kagura's Heart's Eye to sense the position of the one-tailed Jinchuriki. Kagura's Heart's Eye is a ninjutsu that only a few Uzumaki clan members can master. It is a super large-scale perception ninjutsu. Although it is called a ninjutsu, Naruto feels that it is a half ninjutsu from the blood. Because only the Uzumaki clan can use it, and it is a minority, if you know the other party's chakra, you can also accurately locate it. The prototype of Naruto's perception is the chakra of the nine-tail in his body. Although the chakra of the one-tail is different from that of the nine-tail, they are both tailed beasts. It is easier to distinguish it from the chakra of ordinary ninjas when perceiving it, and it can also reduce Naruto's unnecessary consumption. Closing his eyes slightly, Naruto activated the ninjutsu. After a few seconds, Naruto suddenly opened his eyes, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. Found it. Naruto began to move again by burrowing into the earth. With the sealing technique, it was difficult for Naruto to expose his own chakra. As long as he didn't make too much noise. Naruto kept sneaking and gradually came to where Gaara was. What surprised Naruto a little was that there was no ninja monitoring Gaara's residence. Then he thought about it. That's right. After all, if he was monitored, he might be discovered by Gaara and killed directly by Gaara. After all, Gaara was still a problem child at this time. Thinking about what happened to Gaara, Naruto shook his head. This was all because of the ambitious people. Basically, every Chiriki was unfortunate. Power. It is always terrifying, especially the uncontrolled power. Especially Gaara's father, Raza, is really an irresponsible father. In order to allow Gaara to control the power of Shikaku, he kept sending people to assassinate Gaara. What a clever guy. This also made Gaara gradually become a bloodthirsty person who was eager to prove his existence by killing people. Gaara didn't know the meaning of his existence. His father wanted to kill him, and his uncle was sent by Rosa to test him. Gaara thought so himself. Even his sister and brother were afraid of him. The villagers were also afraid of his existence. This gradually forced Gaara into the abyss of darkness. This is simply the black in Naruto. If Naruto turned black, Naruto would generally have some identification with Gaara, probably because of the same identity and experience of the two. However, Naruto did not turn black in his previous life, probably because of the influence of Ashura's chakra. However, Naruto has never felt the Ashura chakra in his body. And didn't feel affected at all. Maybe it's because his strength is too low to sense it. Naruto didn't come out from the ground. It was almost evening now. Coming out now would probably attract other people's attention, even though there was no one around Gaara now. According to Naruto's observation, Gaara lived in a single-family room, and there were no residents living around, probably because of Gaara's identity. As for the Kazekage Raza, he was not there either. He was probably panning for gold in the sand or in the Kazekage building. Temari and Kankuro were not there either. This was a good time to contact Gaara. However, Naruto did not act rashly, but waited for the night to fall. Night is the best time to contact Gaara. Because the sealing technique of the sand village is so crude. As soon as Gaara falls asleep, Shikaku will compete with Gaara for control of his body. At this time, Shikaku can easily penetrate the chakra through the gaps in the sealing technique. This also caused Gaara to have two big dark circles under his eyes, just like a little panda. When night fell, Naruto also saw Gaara's sister and brother Kanjiro, who looked more immature than in the original book. Temari should be about 13 years old now, Kanjiro is about 12 years old now, and Gaara is about the same as Naruto now, about 10 years old. Temari's neck showed a little ninja fishnet outfit, and the outside was tightly wrapped in ninja clothes, with a pair of long legs. Even Naruto couldn't help but smack his lips when he saw the long legs. The three of them did not live in the same room. Compared with the two people, Gaara's room was a little far away. Suddenly, Naruto found that Temari actually began to take off her clothes and started to take a shower, just facing the window, just facing the roof that Naruto had turned into a small stone, a piece of white. At least 1 C is estimated by I. Suddenly, Naruto's face turned red, and he felt inexplicably sorry for Shikamaru. If Shikamaru knew, he would probably say, "Are you polite?" Just like that, Naruto waited with an inexplicable mood, while Temari and Kankuro slowly fell asleep. When the moon hung overhead, Gaara felt inexplicably uncomfortable in the room. Damn the one tail. He forced himself to look at the ceiling. At this time, a voice suddenly came into Gaara's mind. Who? Gaara stood up and looked around vigilantly. Dare to come? Just come to the desert outside by yourself. The voice in my mind sounded again. Gaara was puzzled and stimulated by Naruto. Could it be another assassin sent by my father? Gaara's heart began to overflow with murderous intent. He left directly from the window, leaving the curtain swaying slightly. I don't know if it was the wind or if Gaara touched it. Chapter 62. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Gaara looked at the desert outside, following the chakra traces left by the owner of the mysterious voice. It was only 2 seconds, but Gaara followed closely. When he came to a desert, the chakra disappeared, and Gaara knew that the place must be here. The moonlight was bright, the moon was in the sky, and the moonlight was scattered on the ground like crushed, and from time to time, a small wind and sand blew. A figure wearing a bamboo hat appeared in front of Gaara, a head taller than Gaara. Who are you? Gaara asked. The murderous intent in his heart could not help but boil. It was probably another assassin sent by Luo Sha. Gaara was used to it. Although Luo Sha had not sent anyone to kill him recently, he didn't care about it. Only blood is the most beautiful, and it can prove my existence. But I only love my own Shura. Hello. Gaara. Naruto threw his hat away and it got stuck on a rock in the Gobi Desert. His delicate and handsome face was revealed. His golden hair and smile made Gaara a little dazed. This smile without any negative emotions made Gaara's heart skip a beat. Ha ha ha. Killing him can prove my existence. Gaara is now bloodthirsty and in an extremely abnormal state of mind. Naruto looked at Gaara's crazy look, sighed, and felt that Raza was a big stick. A good boy was forced to become a problem child. Naruto took 2 steps forward, clapped his hands, and a medium-sized barrier was set up by Naruto. This is to prevent being discovered by the people of the Sand Village. After all, they are still outside the village, so it's always right to be careful. Then, Naruto directly revealed the Nine-Tails chakra. Shikaku, who was dozing in Gaara's body, suddenly opened his eyes, the smell of a stinky fox. Shikaku began to continuously attack the seal in Gaara's body, and the characteristics of sandification gradually appeared on his body. Feeling the abnormality of his body, Gaara thought that the One-Tail was going to compete with him for control of his body again. Get back! Gaara shouted angrily, mobilizing his chakra to suppress the One-Tail Shikaku. Although the sealing technique of the Sand Village was not very good, it was still able to suppress the One-Tail. The One-Tail immediately felt a strong pressure pressing its power back. After struggling several times, the One-Tail Shikaku stopped struggling because he noticed something unusual, as if the guy opposite was weird. He didn't seem to sense the existence of Kurama. Could it be that he was a human who had obtained some stinky fox chakra? Gaara felt the One-Tail retreating and no longer struggling, and thought that he had given up again as usual, so he didn't think much and turned to look at Naruto. Looking at the chakra in Naruto's hand, he recognized it. It was the tailed beast chakra. Could it be? Gaara understood instantly that perhaps the other party was also a tailed beast Jinchuriki. The murderous intent in his heart suddenly weakened a little. Who are you? Me, Naruto smiled and continued, I am the same as you. I am an ominous person, but we are not born to be ominous, they forced us to be like this. When Gaara heard Naruto's words, he felt inexplicably touched in the first half, and murderous intent rose in the second half. We are the same kind of people. Gaara, do you believe in light? I am here to lead you out of the darkness. Naruto felt like he was fooling a kid. Gaara's body paused for a moment, then his face gradually became ferocious, and he shouted, I don't need anyone, I love my own Shura. Gaara suddenly rushed up like crazy, okay. Naruto waved his hands. After all, he couldn't beat Snake Uncle. They all said I had a mouth-to-mouth trick, where was it? It seems that we still have to fight. Naruto actually expected that without strength, others would not want to listen to what you say. Naruto looked at Gaara's angry look at the moment, and he was probably moved by him, but the long-term betrayal made him unwilling to believe anyone again. Problem children and the like, just beat them up. Then come and convince people with virtue. After all, a gentleman is not serious, he is not powerful. How can I establish prestige without heavy hands? Facing Gaara who was galloping, looking at him who had already turned one hand into Shikaku's arm, Naruto did not hesitate at all and pulled back. Feel the fear from the firepower coverage. Naruto raised the corner of his mouth, all the fears come from the fear of insufficient firepower. Earth escape, quicksand strike. Naruto quickly formed 3 seals with both hands, and a B-level ninjutsu was used. It was obviously a ninjutsu that Naruto had simplified. Gaara was shocked. Although he was in a state of rage, he was not without brains. With such a short seal, the opponent's strength was not weak. Gaara seemed even crazier, and the blood of the strong was even more boiling. Gaara raised the huge arm transformed by Shikaku, which had violet-like patterns on it. His eyes gradually changed, and he looked like a monster. There was even fine sand sliding down his arm, and the murderous intent that erupted from his body could scare a jonin. The power of the tailed beast can make ordinary ninjas shudder. This is a power that is almost like a natural disaster. Naruto used Earth Escape to roll up a huge quicksand fist and hit Gaara. Gaara used the seemingly small arm of Shikaku, which actually contained powerful power. After all, it was the power of the tailed beast, which could not be ignored. Earth Style, Vortex Blast. In a flash, Naruto attacked Gaara again. The desert was full of sand and stones, which reduced Naruto's energy consumption several times. The sand and stones turned into desert vortices and rushed towards Gaara. Boom! 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 A huge explosion sounded, and the sound waves formed hit the wall of the barrier without causing any ripples. Seeing that the attack hit the opponent, Naruto was not happy at all, because Gaara was wrapped in a thick ball of sand. The sand with chakra was harder than steel. Absolute protection. Naruto's mouth curled up slightly, revealing an interested look. Naruto knew that this was not Shikaku's power at all. but the power of Gaara's mother, Karura. What power could allow Karura's remaining power to protect Gaara all the time? It really interested Naruto. Since Naruto had the ability of God's reward for hard work, his research on ninjutsu has been unstoppable. Now seeing the power of unfamiliar ninjutsu, he is naturally very interested, especially this unconscious automatic defense power. Although it looks magical, Naruto knows that this power should rely on Gaara's chakra. From the perspective of energy, this is reasonable. However, in the later period, Karura's remaining power took the initiative to form a huge sand man to protect Gaara, which still shocked Naruto. This woman is indeed very admirable. How to say it, chakra is formed by human spiritual power and cell life energy, and the most sincere will in the heart is naturally explained by being imprinted in chakra. This is also the reason why Gaara's mother took the initiative to protect Gaara later. This mother, she loves Gaara deeply. Chapter 63. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Naruto's attack was blocked by Gaara's absolute defense, and he couldn't help but smile. Gaara rushed forward even more frantically. Sand style, desert funeral. In the desert, Gaara didn't need the aid of the gourd to perform his ninjutsu to the limit, because there were brown sand all around. The mud and sand began to move like a river. In such a scene, Gaara laughed, as if he was about to be happy and excited to see Naruto's blood. Gaara's face was full of madness at the moment. Naruto frowned at the crazy Gaara in front of him. Problem children and the like, just beat them up. Educate them well later. Gaara has fallen to where he is today, and it's all because of Luasha's cleverness. In the end, he was killed by Orochimaru. Even the people in his own ninja village don't know. It's really ridiculous. Big ball Rasengan, looking at the rushing river of mud and sand. Naruto directly fired a big ball Rasengan to meet it. The powerful force of the Rasengan directly shattered the entire river of mud and sand. The yellow sand in the sky instantly dispersed in the air, and the power in it had been defeated by Naruto. Gaara was a little dazed. He had hardly seen such a powerful force. Except for his father. The original crazy emotion was restrained a little in an instant, and he didn't even notice it. Gritting his teeth, Gaara mobilized the sand again, forming a big hand to grab Naruto. Naruto turned over and retreated, using a somersault to retreat dozens of meters away. Then he grinned and said, "Welcome to the baptism of artillery fire. Fire style, Great Dragon Fire Technique. Fire style, Flame Pillar. It's not over yet, the wind helps the fire. Wind style, Big Breakthrough." Naruto formed seals with one hand and instantly used two fire-style ninjutsu, one for high-altitude attack and one for ground attack. He formed seals with both hands again, and a strong wind appeared, and the fire became even more fierce. A dull feeling rose up. Gaara felt the pressure and directly formed three walls of sand to block in front of him. Naruto's attack was unstoppable and directly broke through Gaara's three walls of sand before stopping. Gaara just wanted to take a breath, then he heard Naruto's voice, Earth style, Quicksand Vortex. Wind style, Tornado. Combined ninjutsu, Quicksand Hell. Naruto deliberately controlled the power. After all, Gaara was still too young now. One tail. Lend me your power, if I die you will definitely not live. Gaara roared. The one-tail Shikaku was also straightforward, without any more arguments, and directly gave his chakra to Gaara, because the human in front of him had the smell of the stinky fox he hated. With Shikaku's chakra, Gaara launched the ninjutsu again, which was larger in scale and more powerful. However, when it came into contact with Naruto's ninjutsu, he found that it didn't seem as powerful as he imagined. While he breathed a sigh of relief, he showed a cruel expression, as long as the opponent was not as strong as he imagined. Sand style, Desert Burial. With the blessing of Shikaku's chakra, Gaara was like a god. But Naruto's attacks came one after another, so many that his scalp numbed. Fire style, Chain Fireball Technique. Art Fire Escape Ho Fireball. Lightning Release, Thunderbird. Lightning Release, Pseudo Darkness. Wind style, Wind Cutting. Wind style, vacuum wave. Naruto did not use the combination ninjutsu again. After all, the power of the combination ninjutsu was too strong. It was not something that Gaara could resist now. Naruto felt the 5 cards of chakra disappearing from his body, and nodded with satisfaction. Well, this is a move that Kakashi can never afford to use. Naruto's moves were messy, purely for the purpose of showing off his ninjutsu. His clone had a total of 10,000 cards of chakra, of which Naruto himself provided 2,000 cards. The Ninetales alone, oh no. One-tailed beast provided 8,000 cards of chakra. 1 card of chakra is equivalent to the chakra of 1 Kakashi. In the original work, Naruto had hundreds of times more chakra than Kakashi, and this was because the remaining chakra was used to suppress the Ninetales. Now that there is no interference from the Ninetales, these chakras can naturally be used. At the same time, because of the reward for hard work, Naruto's chakra increased several times again, reaching the level of several thousand cards. If Kakashi knew, he would probably burst into tears. In fact, Kakashi has a lot of chakra, and most of it has been absorbed by the Sharingan. Otherwise, he would not have failed to break through to the Kage level for so many years. In addition to his own decadence, the Sharingan has been absorbing his chakra. As the saying goes, success or failure is due to the Sharingan. Maybe Kakashi will be stronger without the Sharingan, but it is different. After all, when Kakashi was young, he was a super genius. The threshold of the Kage level is not difficult for him. Even Guy opened the 8 gates and reached the Kage level. Naruto's ninjutsu was all smashed down, explosions sounded, and the surroundings were suddenly shrouded in smoke. When the smoke dissipated, Gaara had actually used the technique of pretending to sleep. Wow, he directly let Shikaku resist the thunder. Naruto. I can't beat Shikaku now. Don't think that Shikaku is rubbish in the original work. The Ninetales has always used its tail to distinguish the strong from the weak. In fact, it can't stand Shikaku. And Shikaku's strength is not the weakest among the tailed beasts. Shikaku is the only one among the tailed beasts who can use ninjutsu. I don't know when he learned it. The other tailed beasts are too disdainful to learn human ninjutsu. Speaking of this, Naruto has to complain. Among all the tailed beasts, only the Ninetales' strength barely reaches the level of Super Shadow. The other tailed beasts are at the level of Shadow. Their chakra utilization and control are terribly low. Otherwise, with their chakra, they must be Super Shadow level. Usually, they only use a tailed beast ball that is equivalent to a talent skill. No wonder they are toyed with by humans. But in the eyes of ordinary ninjas, they are invincible. Even shadow-level powerhouses have a headache because the chakra of the tailed beasts is too huge. Ha ha ha. I'm finally out. Little brat, prepare to die. Said the one-tailed Shikaku arrogantly. The long-lost sense of freedom made him feel great. A huge claw grabbed Naruto, and Naruto pulled back and continued to attack with ninjutsu. Shikaku's claws smashed on the ground, raising a huge cloud of dust. Kid! What is your relationship with that fox? Shikaku's voice was loud and rumbling. Want to know? Defeat me, Naruto teased. You are courting death, little brat. Feeling that he was being fooled, Shikaku was furious and started to use ninjutsu directly. Wind style, air training bullet. Naruto used earth style to dive deep into the ground. Shikaku smashed a big hole in the ground and Naruto got out again. Hey, I'm fine. Come again, Naruto continued to taunt. Shikaku grabbed Naruto with one claw, but missed. Naruto had already hidden underground again. He came out from another direction. Hey! I'm fine. I'm just playing. Naruto came out again, which made Shikaku furious. He kept hitting Naruto. Naruto dodged Shikaku's attack again and again. If he can't beat me, can't I dodge? Damn brat. If you dare to play tricks on me, I will tear you into pieces. Shikaku was furious, and a ball of black energy gradually began to take shape. It turned out to be the tailed beast ball. No way. You can't afford to play with me. Naruto hit underground again, but still felt unsafe, so he continued to drill underground. No, it's still not safe. Naruto dived in another direction again, sneaking a few hundred meters. Carrying out the way of hiding, it is my duty. Boom! The ground shook. Naruto felt it even though he was hundreds of meters away. It is worthy of being the tailed beast ball. Sly kid. Come out, Shikaku shouted loudly. Naruto didn't come out for a long time. He thought Naruto had been smashed into pieces by the tailed beast ball. Even if he hadn't, he would probably have been deformed and squeezed into a pancake by the ground. Ha ha ha. This is what happens when you dare to play tricks on me. Shikaku's loud voice echoed in the barrier. Naruto, who had just returned, heard Shikaku's loud laughter and got out from behind him. What are you laughing at? Chapter 64. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shikaku turned around and looked at them, staring at each other for a moment. Naruto stood in the distance intact, staring at Shikaku with his big eyes. Hey! Dude, what were you talking about just now? Naruto put his hand next to his ear, tilted his head, pretending not to hear what it said, looking particularly annoying. Little brat. Are you looking for death? Shikaku was instantly furious, and the sand around him unconsciously rioted. It directly formed sand iron, and with Shikaku's huge body, Naruto suddenly felt like a sky full of yellow sand. Oh my god! Are they serious? Shikaku has the ability of magnetic escape in Naruto's impression. At this moment, he mobilized a large amount of iron sand to hit Naruto. Whoosh! Naruto disappeared from the spot again, and the whole person escaped directly underground. He knew how powerful this was. Without Naruto, Shikaku was furious, and the storm around him became more and more violent. Shikaku kept releasing air training bullets to hit the surroundings, and even one bullet hit the barrier. The transparent barrier instantly revealed its traces and returned to its original state. Gaara was in a dozing state at the moment, as if all this had nothing to do with him. After Shikaku swept past, Naruto ran out again to taunt. His expression was as arrogant as he could be. Hey! Isn't this the One Tail? Why is it so powerless and furious here? Naruto had just finished speaking when the huge claws slapped down. Boom! Covered with a huge amount of chakra. The ground suddenly sank, and huge smoke and dust filled half of Shikaku's body, and Naruto disappeared again. The ground cracked, and the quicksand slowly flowed down, looking like a funnel. Shikaku's face became more and more hideous, and the violet flower pattern became more and more charming. A few minutes later, Shikaku was constantly venting. He didn't know why the little bug in front of him was so good at hiding. Once it disappeared, the chakra traces were almost imperceptible, and the position could not be confirmed at all. Shikaku began to mobilize chakra to stir the surrounding ground. A large amount of chakra penetrated into the ground, trying to pull Naruto out. What surprised him was that there was no trace of Naruto within 100 meters underground, and there was no breath of a person within a radius of hundreds of meters. Little did he know that Naruto had already escaped to a place thousands of meters away. After Naruto's continuous improvement of the earth escape technique, it was not only fast, but also greatly enhanced the depth of escape. It's just that the air underground is scarce, so you need to breathe from time to time, or directly use the earth escape technique to open a small passage leading to the ground. After Shikaku finished venting, Naruto came out again and taunted Shikaku, the big cat in front, didn't you eat? Oh. It seems that you don't need to eat either. Naruto taunted in a very jumpy way. If Naruto's real body was here, he would definitely not say this. Who knew that the shadow clone was fine when it came out, but now it has let itself go. You little brat. You have completely pissed me off. Shikaku's murderous intent continued to rise, and the tailed beast ball condensed again. I say, One Tail, your chakra control is not that good. Isn't it just rolling a ball? You act like no one can do it. After saying that, Naruto immediately performed a ball rolling. This is a small meatball, this is a big meatball, and this is a braised meatball, this is a flat meatball, and this is a meatball skewer. Rasengan began to appear in Naruto's hand, including a large Rasengan, a Houyan Rasengan infused with fire attribute chakra, a Rasengan that changed its form into a flat shape, and a row of Rasengan in his hand. Naruto's attitude made Shikaku even more angry, and even the tailed beast ball was blessed to a great extent. After Naruto showed off, he disappeared again. 2 people. No. It should be said that one person and one tailed beast, after tossing for several hours, even the sky was a little bright, but this had nothing to do with Gaara. He finally got a good night's sleep. Little brat. I'm going to use my ultimate move. Shikaku's rumbling voice came, and Naruto's heart froze. Could it be that he has some other moves that I don't know? I won't accompany you anymore. Goodbye, little brat. Naruto was dumbfounded. Shikaku threw a ball of sand at Gaara, who woke up and was shocked by the scene in front of him. There were traces of ninjutsu attacks all around him, and Naruto's figure in front of him was intact. Could it be that the One Tail couldn't do anything to him? It's unethical. Naruto was a little exasperated when he saw Shikaku's unethical way. Shikaku, who returned to Gaara's body, laughed. You never thought, little brat, I fooled you, right? I told you not to fool me. Although he was fooled, Shikaku was still a little happy. After all, he finally got out of the body. It was like a vent, and no one stopped me. It was better than being trapped in a cage. Gaara looked at the scene in front of him, and he felt comfortable for no reason. He hadn't had such a rest for a long time. Naruto gradually recovered at this time. He almost played too much and forgot about the business. Naruto came back to his senses and looked at Gaara calmly. At this moment, Gaara was also looking at Naruto with a fearful look. The guy who couldn't even do anything to the One Tail must be not simple. Naruto looked at the vigilant red panda in front of him. As expected, if he didn't convince others with virtue, the other party would not listen to him. Gaara, I have no intention of being your enemy. We are all the same kind of people, both Jinchuriki, we should help each other, right? Naruto said slowly. He lied. He is not the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki at all, he is just a guy who got the Nine-Tails power. Shikaku's voice was in Gaara's mind, and Gaara, who thought Naruto was right, reacted instantly. You lied. You are not the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki at all, what is your purpose? Gaara's dull voice sounding a little excited, more like he was dissatisfied with Naruto's deception. Naruto was slightly stunned. He frowned, then thought of the one-tailed Shikaku, and then he was relieved. Did the one-tailed Shikaku sense that there was no nine-tailed fox in his body? You misunderstood. I am the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, Uzumaki Naruto. What's in front of you now is just one of my shadow clones, Naruto explained, but in return, Gaara looked at him as if he was a fool, as if to say, have you ever seen such a perverted shadow clone? Gaara. I know you don't believe me, so I'll prove it to you. Naruto took off his upper body, and there were several seals on it. Release. Naruto removed the seal, but it was not over yet. Naruto started to make hand seals and slightly changed the technique of constructing the character in the shadow clone. Naruto's upper body turned into a translucent chakra aggregation similar to the form of Susanoo. Gaara was shocked. The person in front of him was actually a shadow clone, or a chakra aggregation. But the amount of chakra was too terrifying. What kind of shadow clone was this? Not only Gaara, but even Shikaku in Gaara's body was shocked. A shadow clone actually entangled with it for so long. Isn't it easy for a shadow clone to dissipate? Chapter 65. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This time, not only Gaara, but even Shikaku believed Naruto a little. Naruto changed back to his original form and sealed himself again. It is not difficult to show the chakra appearance of the shadow clone. Others' shadow clones may be just a shallow empty shell, but Naruto's shadow clone is a collection filled with chakra. All he needs to do is change the way the chakra of the anthropomorphic form is running. It is very simple for Naruto. Gaara, we are not enemies, we can be the same kind, partners, Naruto continued, his tone full of sincerity. Life is not all gloomy. The world is not all sand village, Gaara, you are not without meaning to exist. Naruto knows that if he wants to recruit Gaara, he must appeal to his emotions and courtesy. And Gaara is an important part of Naruto's mastery of the Kingdom of Wind in the future. As long as Gaara succeeds in becoming the Wind Shadow as originally estimated, then Sand Village will basically be in his pocket. And now the most important thing is to open Gaara's heart and pull Gaara out of the darkness. Naruto knows very well that people like Gaara who seek the meaning of their existence by killing people are actually very eager to be recognized by others. He is no different from others, but he is forced into this by life and Raza. What Naruto has to do is to become the light that can pierce the darkness in Gaara's heart. And Naruto also hopes to redeem Gaara. Konoha Village, Ninja School, Naruto was flirting with Hinata as usual, and he didn't know the progress of Naruto's clone yet, but the clone didn't dissipate, probably nothing went wrong. Naruto smiled and touched Hinata's head. Hinata blushed, and his other hand accidentally touched Hinata's arm. Hinata subconsciously took a breath. Naruto frowned, and said, Hinata, what's wrong? Naruto-kun, it's okay. Hinata said softly with a ruddy face. Naruto gently grabbed Hinata's hand and lifted her sleeve. The scene he saw afterwards made Naruto frown, and an unknown anger rushed to his heart. Hinata's arm was bruised and swollen in several places. It looked like someone else had beaten her, very similar to the acupuncture of the Hyuga family. Then Naruto thought about it and understood the cause and effect. It was likely that she was injured when fighting with someone in the family. In the Hyuga family, there was probably no one else who could attack Hinata, the heir of the main family, and beat her like this, except for Hinata's father Hyuga Hayashi and Hyuga Hanabi. There was probably no one else. Hinata, tell me who did it. Naruto's expression was serious and cold, which scared Hinata, but she could still hear the concern in Naruto's tone, which showed that Naruto cared about her very much, and her heart was slightly warmed. It's okay, Naruto-kun. I did it by accident. Seeing Hinata's expression, Naruto was a little helpless. Hinata, if you don't tell me, I won't be able to eat or sleep well, and I'll think about it every day. Please tell me. Naruto pretended to be pitiful, because he knew that only in this way would Hinata be able to tell the truth. Ah. Don't, I got hurt when Hanabi and I were sparring. Hinata told Naruto everything, including the fact that she lost to Hanabi. Naruto gently stroked Hinata's little head and said, Hinata, can't you bear to hurt your sister? Hinata looked at Naruto's sunny face and nodded. Naruto saw Hinata nod, and knew that Hanabi should be a little over 5 years old now. Even if Hinata's strength is weak now, she should be able to fight to a draw. But with Hinata's character, she certainly can't bear to hurt a younger sister. This is basically fatal in a large family, especially as the heir to the main family. Naruto took a look and pulled Hinata out. Then he used the shadow clone and used the transformation technique to turn into Hinata's appearance. Then he pulled Naruto out of the ninja school. Naruto-kun, it's not good for us to skip class like this, right? Hinata whispered, looking at the hand held by Naruto. Her fair neck suddenly turned pink. In the past, she would have fainted directly, but after such a long time, Hinata was much more immune to it. It's okay. Haven't you mastered most of the content in these classes? Besides, I've used a shadow clone to attend the class in your place, so no one will notice. Hinata, we are already so familiar with each other, you should just call me Naruto from now on. It's always Naruto-kun Naruto-kun, I think it's a bit strange. Okay, Naruto-kun. Okay, Naruto. That's right. Naruto happily took Hinata's hand and rushed to the place where they usually trained. The simple secret base at that time has changed at this moment, and even the small cave at that time has become a built-in house with several rooms. It is the place where Naruto and his friends rest. Sometimes Neji will stay here overnight. He is really too hard for training, and Xiao Li is also. Hinata looked around curiously. It seems like a secret base. Come here. I'll treat you. The two came to a lawn, and Naruto used the palm fairy technique to treat Hinata. There are medical ninjutsu in Danzo's collection scrolls, and because of the biological experiments, medical ninjas are the key, so there are many books on medical treatment. Green light appeared, and Hinata's injuries healed quickly. Hinata stared at Naruto while he was treating her. Naruto was particularly handsome today, and Hinata seemed to hear her own heartbeat. Land of Wind, outside of Sand Village. Naruto was still introducing it to Gaara, and Gaara suddenly wanted to see the life that Naruto was talking about. As the head of the organization, Naruto's words about the leader were also polished to a certain extent. Although Naruto did not do it deliberately, he continued to improve when teaching Shursui. At this moment, something called leadership temperament emerged spontaneously, which was convincing. I love Luo. This world is chaotic, it is bad, even people are bad. I hope to change it, make the mountains and rivers beautiful, let the sun shine on the earth. Gaara, we are unfortunate, but we can help more people like us escape from the sea of suffering. We can help people in the ninja world no longer distinguish between countries. Let the people of the wind country go to see the sea, the people of the fire country can see the oasis, and the people of the earth country can see the beautiful plains. Let everyone be able to go anywhere at will. The ninja world is corrupt and dark, but we are bright and shining. Gaara, I need you. Naruto's words were like a dimensionality reduction blow to the love-starved little panda in front of him. No one had ever said that they needed him, no one had ever said that he could live a wonderful life, no one had ever said that he could be loved by others. Gaara's tears instantly welled up in his eyes, and he cried, can someone like me be needed? Naruto hooked his hand around the back of Gaara's head, and their foreheads were pressed tightly together. Gaara, look at me, I need you. The world needs you too. Naruto grinned, revealing his white teeth, confident and calm. This was a smile Gaara had never seen before. He was used to fear, disgust and disgust. This smile became the only one, the light in his heart. Chapter 66. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Next to the grove, Naruto carefully used medical ninjutsu to recover all of Hinata's injuries, then he looked at Hinata with heartache. Naruto actually did not recommend this girl in front of him to become a ninja, or to be more precise, he did not recommend her to become a ninja who specializes in combat. This is why Naruto has no plans to improve Hinata's strength for the time being. In this world, Naruto feels that it is more about diversifying power rather than becoming a killing weapon alone. This is simply a cruel thing for a girl who is naturally kind, but now, the girl he cherishes has been hurt. And they are her family members. He can't just rush to Hyuga to beat up Hyuga Hayashi and his sister-in-law, besides, wouldn't that expose him? After thinking it over and over again, Naruto felt that Hinata should still have a certain amount of power. After all, he couldn't stay with Hinata forever, so he took Hinata's hand, as if he didn't see Hinata's flushed face. Hinata felt that she was about to faint, and sweat began to appear on her head. Hinata, I know you don't want to hurt Hanabi, but you can't do this. As the heir to the main family, you must have a certain strength. Naruto spoke slowly. For a big family like the Hyuga, his daughter is indeed cowardly and timid. She can't even fight as well as her sister Hanabi, who is 5 years younger than her. This is why Hyuga Hayashi is so strict. Some elders in the main family put pressure on her, and there were even rumors of reselecting the heir to the main family, but these news were circulated within the main family. Naruto has a general understanding of the Hyuga, and he learned more from the original work. However, no matter how much Hyuga Hayashi bears, this is not a reason for Hinata to be bullied. Should the responsibility of the family really be placed on Hinata? You know, Hinata is only 10 years old now. Hinata listened to Naruto's words, and her eyes couldn't help but turn red. He thought of his father, who also emphasized her identity as the heir to the main family. Strength is a must, at least not too weak. Seeing that Hinata's tears were about to fall, Naruto hurriedly said, "Don't cry, Hinata, I don't mean that. What I mean is, let me help you practice in the future. Hinata, you are not bad in talent, but you are kind-hearted. I know fighting and killing may not be suitable for you, but sometimes, strength can also be used to protect the people you love. Just like I want to protect you. Naruto said with a smile, and Hinata's slightly sad heart suddenly became lively, but Naruto's words made her face red again. Well. I also want to protect you, Naruto. Hinata whispered, and Naruto could hardly hear what Hinata said. Hinata, strength is not just for fighting and killing, sometimes it can be transformed into the power of protection. Ninjas don't necessarily have to go to the battlefield to kill enemies, the power of ninjas can also be used to benefit the people. It's just that people now have a qualitative thinking about the profession of ninja. You may not understand these, but ninjutsu comes from life, from fighting, and from thinking. Naruto's words are indeed difficult for Hinata to understand, and even a shock. Don't ninjas exist just to kill people? This is the inertial thinking of most ninjas in the ninja world. Ordinary people pay remuneration in exchange for the protection of ninjas, and ninjas protect ordinary people. The daimyo is in charge of politics, and the ninjas are in charge of fighting. The daimyo maintains the needs of the ninjas, so military expenses are distributed, and at the same time, the ninjas complete tasks and earn money. This is the one country, one village system. In theory, the shadow and the daimyo should be at the same level, but because the daimyo controls the economic lifeline, the status of the daimyo is slightly higher. From the fact that the shadow needs to be reported to the daimyo, although it is just a situation, it can be seen that the status of the daimyo is a little higher. You may not understand now, it doesn't matter. Naruto touched Hinata's head again and added, but I will train you in the future. You will understand that the power of protection is the most powerful, isn't it? If anyone dares to hit Hinata, Naruto doesn't mind releasing the nine tails and let him experience what it means to be a man relying on the power of a fox. Human-shaped cannon. The truth is only within the range of the cannon. The two of them stopped talking and snuggled up to each other warmly. The sun shone on them, and they looked so peaceful. Time passed slowly. Good morning, Naruto. Miss Hinata. Why are you here? Suddenly a voice sounded, full of shock. Oh. Brother-in-law. You are here. Neji knew that Naruto and Hinata had a good relationship, but he never thought that Hinata would skip classes to date Naruto. But then he showed a knowing smile. If an ordinary person dared to harass Hinata, Neji would definitely beat him up so that he couldn't take care of himself. If this person was Naruto, Neji would definitely agree with it. Okay, since you are here, I will not waste my words. You can come and train with Hinata today. You probably know Hinata's situation in Hyuga. Hinata's personality is not suitable for fighting and killing. Ningxi looked at Naruto in surprise. Hinata's personality is not only not suitable for fighting and killing, to put it bluntly, it is, a bit cowardly. Although Ningxi felt that it was not good to frame Hinata in his heart, it was indeed the truth. Ningxi, I know, but I can't just watch Hinata get bullied. You help me teach her for a few days, and then I'll be able to improve Hinata's strength. And don't hurt Hinata, or you'll know what will happen. Naruto knew what Nisai was thinking when he saw his expression, and after saying a few words, he put his hands together at the same time, and the knuckles made a crackling sound. Nisai swallowed and nodded, because he knew how hard Naruto's fists were. Hinata, you have to know that sometimes learning ninjutsu and taijutsu is not to hurt anyone, but to prevent more people from getting hurt, understand? I may get hurt in the future, and I need you to protect me, Hinata. Naruto knew that if he wanted Hinata's strength to improve, he had to change Hinata's mind first, and let her understand that strength is not just a tool to hurt others, but can also be used to protect the people she loves. Yeah, Naruto. I will study hard. Hinata nodded, and a strange emotion arose in her heart. No one had ever told her that strength could be used to protect others. All she had heard was that as the heir of the main family, she should shoulder the responsibility of the main family and not let people down. Strength is everything, you are so disappointing. Hinata always heard scolding, harshness and a lot of demands, and no one ever considered her feelings. Only Naruto really cared about her, and tears welled up in her eyes for a moment. Little cat, you won't look good if you keep crying. I won't like you if your face is all red from crying, Naruto said jokingly. Ah. Then, who does Naruto-kun like? Seeing Hinata like this, Naruto was a little amused. Little idiot, I was just joking, Naruto explained, and Hinata started laughing again. Chapter 67. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ningxi, Hinata is now in your care. Hinata's foundation in taijutsu is too poor. Please help her train again. Naruto had practiced taijutsu in his early days. Basic taijutsu had already formed a theory. There were still too few taijutsu practitioners nowadays. Relatively speaking, they were a bit too crude. Even some taijutsu from big families seemed too simple for Naruto. Ningxi nodded. Naruto. Is there really a way to improve Miss Hinata's strength in a short period of time? Ningxi said, and it was obvious that he had remembered what Naruto had just said. Naruto was stunned, then said, it's true, but it may not be suitable for you. You can learn it when the time comes. Naruto naturally has a way to improve Hinata's strength. As long as Hinata's mentality changes and she is no longer so afraid of power, she can naturally improve her strength. The way Naruto thought of was that the others were too fierce, so Naruto thought of an ability that was very suitable for Hinata. That is Tai Chi. Tai Chi is very suitable for Hinata, and it is somewhat similar to the concept of the main family. The boxing in Konoha is roughly divided into steel fist flow and soft fist flow. The soft fist is represented by the Hyuga, and the steel fist flow can be reflected in Might Guy. The soft fist mainly relies on acupuncture to block the enemy's chakra, and sees through the chakra meridians through the white eyes, so it belongs to the exclusive boxing of the Hyuga clan, and because the soft fist is suitable for combat, it is actually mainly based on killing, soft with hardness, but it is too hard. Tai Chi, on the other hand, pays attention to the combination of hardness and softness, using stillness to control movement, although moving, it is still still. Tai Chi is originally infinite, giving birth to all things, and it is more of a health concept, but don't think that Tai Chi boxing has weak actual combat ability, while Tai Chi is hard with softness, soft with hardness and softness are combined. How can the concept of it be compared with the soft fist of the Hyuga clan? Naruto feels that if the people of the Hyuga clan get Tai Chi, they may be able to develop more powerful soft fist moves. Tai Chi is a dimensionality reduction attack for soft fist. Tai Chi is a systematic school, and there were many schools in Naruto's previous life. Naruto didn't know whether Tai Chi could be used in actual combat in his previous life, but in this world with extraordinary power. With the blessing of Chakra, Tai Chi will burst out with terrifying power. Naruto plans to refine the Tai Chi he knows and form a ninja version of Tai Chi, and Tai Chi is almost equivalent to a method of practicing a ninjutsu. In the following days, Naruto started practicing Tai Chi every day. After practicing, Naruto found that Tai Chi is really not that simple. The artistic conception is vast and boundless. However, with the help of God's reward for hard work, it is like God's help. Tai Chi concept +5, Tai Chi +8, balance +1. Since Hinata was convinced by Naruto's idea that strength can also be protection, she has gradually started to pay attention to training, because she wants to protect Naruto, not just be a vase. As she followed Niji to re-examine the basics of physical skills, she found that this seemingly simple physical skill foundation is actually very complicated. As the daughter of Hyuga Hayashi, she still has some vision. This surprised him a little. From Niji's explanation, he knew that these were all summed up by Naruto. Well, Naruto is indeed a genius. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. In Hinata's eyes, nothing Naruto does is strange. Tai Chi breathing method +5, Tai Chi +15. These days, with the help of God's reward for hard work, Naruto has been madly brushing up his Tai Chi proficiency. Even some concepts that he doesn't understand will suddenly become clear in the inspiration of God's reward for hard work. As for bottlenecks, with the help of God's reward for hard work, Naruto has no bottlenecks. Tai Chi +11. Lifespan +0.01. It seems like something strange has been mixed in. Lifespan. Practicing Tai Chi still increases lifespan. Naruto was surprised, but when he thought about the fact that Tai Chi has the ability to maintain health, plus the blessing of God rewards hard work, it seemed to be commonplace. In Tai Chi, the most important thing is to exert force and breathing method. It is not difficult to exert force. With Naruto's physical attainments and God rewards hard work, he has already practiced it. However, what Naruto lacks is the breathing method, but he still got the blessing of God rewards hard work deliberately. Naruto invented a breathing method himself. The help of God rewards hard work is indispensable. Stirring up chakra with a special frequency can slowly improve physical fitness. It is not as rough as the steel fist flow, but it will not leave any hidden injuries, and the more he studied, Naruto found that there seemed to be an inexplicable energy from the outside world that would slowly flow into the body to temper the body. The number is as rare as silk thread. The advantage is that it flows slowly. Naruto suspects it is natural energy. Naruto is still not very clear about why Tai Chi breathing method can attract natural energy. It may be that Tai Chi implies the beginning of heaven and earth, and emphasizes that heaven follows earth, and earth follows heaven. Leverage the power of heaven and earth. Unity of heaven and man. Tao follows nature. This is very similar to the immortal cultivation methods that Naruto saw in his previous life. And these natural energies are similar to the energy of heaven and earth. Unexpectedly, there are unexpected gains, which makes Naruto a little happy. Naruto feels that he has made rapid progress, but in the eyes of Neji and Hinata, Naruto is just a slow boxing, and there is no power at all. If you say this is a soft fist, he admits it. It is even softer than their Hyuga soft fist. Can this have offensive power? Can such a slow fist hit people? Naruto, does your boxing style really work? Neji asked hesitantly. Hinata was also a little confused, but she chose to believe Naruto. Naruto must have his own ideas, maybe she couldn't understand. Ningxi, how many times have I told you, this is Tai Chi? If you think you can't do it, then come and practice with me. Naruto also knew that Neji and the others were puzzled. In addition to the training during this period, Naruto also wanted to find an experimental subject. Isn't Neji walking into trouble? Neji, you are still too young. Come on. Ningxi also wanted to see where Naruto's boxing skills were strong. Remember to focus on strength, relax your body, and concentrate your spirit. Naruto directly faced Neji with his starting stance. Neji also used his soft fist stance. 8 trigrams chain palm. Neji attacked Naruto directly, and Naruto hadn't moved at all at this moment. Neji didn't relax at all. Although he didn't know Tai Chi, he never underestimated Naruto. When Neji was about to reach Naruto, Naruto moved. Left and right, hold the bird's tail. Raise your hands forward to form a circle, and use your strength in your palms. Press your hands to exert force on the back of your hands, and press your hands to exert force on your waist. Ningxi frowned, and suddenly felt that all the flaws around Naruto disappeared. He changed direction and attacked Naruto again, and Naruto actually stuck to him. Watch out Hinata. Naruto kept sticking to Nisai, and while he was moving around, Nisai had no place to use his strength. A little force can defeat a great force. Neji launched a large number of attacks, but he didn't gain the upper hand at all. The two of them responded with only moves, without using any extraordinary strength. White crane spreads its wings. Double peaks pierce the ears, left leg kick. Tai Chi cloud hands. During the struggle, Naruto kept showing Hinata his moves, which made Hinata's eyes brighter and brighter. And Neji was also shocked by the exquisiteness of this set of boxing techniques. This is the most powerful soft fist. Chapter 68. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Naruto carefully displayed his moves in front of Hinata, keeping his strength at a level similar to that of Nisai. However, even so, Nisai was still at a disadvantage, and he became more and more frightened as the fight went on. Although Naruto's movements were slow, he was always able to strike back first, and the constant fighting made him feel as if he was stuck in a quagmire. Nisai estimated that if Naruto hadn't wanted to practice his moves on Hinata, he would have been defeated long ago. Nisai felt extremely aggrieved, and if he hadn't seen Naruto trying to pass the moves to Hinata, Nisai would have admitted defeat long ago. He had never experienced such a frustrating battle before. But he still cooperated with Naruto and practiced it to the end. "Okay, that's all the moves," Naruto said to Hinata, and Neji was relieved because Naruto also stopped. It was really uncomfortable to feel that his body was not his own, and he was completely caught up in Naruto's rhythm. "Naruto, this is the Tai Chi you mentioned. This feels too badass," Neji said in shock. "Ningxi, Tai Chi is about using the opponent's force to counterattack. 1 gives birth to 2, 2 gives birth to 3, and 3 gives birth to all things. It contains the most basic meaning of yin and yang, the foundation of all things. Compared to the soft fist of your Hyuga family, Tai Chi is the real soft fist. The Hyuga soft fist is really soft with strength, but it is too strong. As for Tai Chi, you should feel its power, but because I showed it to Hinata, I didn't show its killer moves too clearly." Naruto spoke slowly, and told the two people the concept of Tai Chi in a simple way. Tai Chi is divided into yin and yang, yin is soft and yang is hard. Nature is a combination of hardness and softness, complementing each other. Tai Chi contains the changes of all things and the principles of the 8 diagrams. The changes are endless. What degree it will reach in the end depends entirely on you. Even I don't know where its limit is. Hinata and Nisai looked at each other. Neither of them was stupid. Nisai was able to rely on his own comprehension of the secret of the main family, the soft fist method to turn the tide. Naturally, his comprehension is very strong. In Naruto's explanation, fragments kept flashing through his mind, and his understanding of the principles of the 8 diagrams increased rapidly. The original 8 diagrams' 64 palms felt that there were still many loopholes. Looking at Ningxi, who was thoughtful, Naruto nodded. He was worthy of being Ningxi. He understood the concept of Tai Chi so quickly. He deserves the title of genius. But I have a cheat. After a moment, Ningxi raised his head again and said, "Naruto, to what extent can this complete one be achieved?" "You mean the attack after combining chakra?" "Watch out." Naruto slowly began to make a gesture, and an invisible wind surrounded Naruto. The blue chakra slowly covered Naruto's body, and in a moment Naruto moved, and the chakra around him began to become violent, but it was extremely stable. A powerful momentum came out of Naruto's body. Ninja Tai Chi +5. As Naruto moved, Heaven Rewards hard work was activated again, providing Naruto with strength every moment. As Naruto moved, a palm of chakra came out of his body, easily destroying the big tree in the distance, and the leaves rustled. Is this a ninjutsu? The slow and quiet movements before didn't look very good, but now after adding chakra and the operation method, it actually burst out with such a strong power. This is the soft fist secret that is stronger than the main family secret technique. Although Neji was shocked, he still suppressed the excitement in his heart and continued to watch. Naruto's next move shocked Neji even more. He seemed to see the rotation of the 4 seasons and the birth of the world. Hinata's eyes were also full of brilliance. Yin and Yang converged, and the 8 trigrams grew. A Yin and Yang 8 trigrams pattern appeared, forming a strong airflow. What is this? Ningji opened his mouth in shock and could not help but step back. This is the secret of Tai Chi. Tai Chi domain. In the Tai Chi domain, defense is unparalleled, and the invincible method of close combat protection. The rhythm is in my hands. No one of the same level can break the Bagua domain. Naruto's voice sounded, and at this moment, Naruto's mind rang wildly, and Naruto seemed to be in enlightenment at this moment. Tai Chi domain +3, Tai Chi domain +5, Tai Chi boxing +4, Tai Chi concept +25. Naruto's mind was filled with inspiration, and the accompanying artistic conception attracted the 2 people who were watching from the side. Their comprehension of Tai Chi was just like eating and drinking water. As for how much they could absorb, it all depended on their comprehension. The distant kingdom of wind, Naruto's clone has been teaching Gaara here for half a month. Naruto wants to take Gaara as his younger brother and then control the entire sand village. Naturally, he will not be so careless. Gaara still lacks a lot, not only strength, but also ideas. After half a month of the influence of the red thought, Gaara admires Naruto even more. Naruto actually wants to completely reform the ninja world. He wants to unify all countries and achieve great unification. He even secretly began to develop and lay out the ninja world. He estimated that what Naruto told him was only part of it. In fact, it is true. In Naruto's teaching, Naruto must first change his character, and then begin to accumulate strength, and must not expose his true strength. Naruto's real positioning for Gaara is to fully control the Sand Village after the Konoha collapse plan. Compared to Gaara's official popularity in Shippuden, Naruto is ready to advance 3 years. This is a big country. Compared with the 5 major countries, it is the best country to attack. After all, the current Sand Village is in a period of transition and only has one Luosha to support it. Chio and others are old. And now he is also in a semi-retired state. A few years later, Gaara will be the highest combat force in the Sand Village. With the help of Naruto's forces, it will not be difficult for Gaara to secure the position of Wind Shadow. Naruto has seen the industry of the 7-colored Chamber of Commerce in the Sand Village, and the industrial chain that has gradually formed. If Gaara does not become the Wind Shadow in the end according to the original work, the worst-case scenario is to cut off the source of funds and withdraw the 7-colored Chamber of Commerce. And that part of the people in the Wind Country will be unemployed. Under the mobilization of public anger, there is no reason why Gaara cannot become the Wind Shadow. The original work has become it, and it would be strange if he still cannot become it with the help of Naruto. What makes Naruto most comfortable is that Gaara really has potential in this area and can draw inferences from one example. It's just that he has never been exposed to this knowledge before. In order to prevent Gaara's changes from being abrupt, Naruto also designed a route of change for Gaara, so that people can gradually get used to Gaara's changes and begin to control the Sand Village little by little. And in order for Gaara's strength to grow steadily, Naruto made a deal with Shikaku. At first Shikaku was reluctant, but Naruto just whispered the names of the 9-tailed beasts, and the deal was done. The main thing was to prevent Shikaku from competing with Gaara for control of the body, and to lend Chakra to Gaara when necessary. For this, Naruto promised to set Shikaku free in 10 years. Chapter 69. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shikaku didn't believe everything Naruto said, because he saw that Naruto seemed to value Gaara very much. Moreover, the tailed beast separated from the body of the Jinchuriki at the cost of the Jinchuriki's life. What made Shikaku really believe in Naruto was that Naruto casually called out the names of the tailed beasts, which made his thoughts begin to diverge. The boy with blue eyes shouted the names of the 9-tailed beasts playfully. He will bring changes to the world and bring peace to the world. The two people overlapped inexplicably, and Shikaku was silent for a rare time. Naruto smiled lightly. He knew Shikaku would agree. Over the years, he has reached a high level of grasp of people's hearts, even if the other party is just a tailed beast. But he has wisdom. What made Naruto happy was that Gaara could actually use magnetic escape, which was a surprising thing. Why didn't it show it in the original work? Then Naruto got the answer from Gaara's answer. It's funny to say that the reason was actually Raza. Raza keeps sending people to assassinate Gaara. In his heart, this is not his father, and therefore Gaara is unwilling to use the magnetic escape technique inherited from Raza. Here is an explanation. Gaara is said to have magnetic escape technique. The official Gaara secret technique has it, but the orthodox one should not have it. The reason why it is said here is to enhance Gaara's strength. I hope everyone understands. Gaara, this power is yours. It doesn't matter who owns it. Power has nothing to do with right or wrong, but it depends on the person who uses it. Luo Sha is not a qualified father, but you still have me, and in the future there will be more people who will become partners of Remember. And strength is used to protect partners and achieve our goals. You don't owe him anything, so feel free to use the power of magnetic escape. It will be of greater use in the future, Naruto added. If possible, please ask Shikaku to help Gaara develop the power of magnetic escape. Naruto used honorifics for Shikaku, which made Shikaku feel quite comfortable. Their tailed beasts also have names, not one tail, two tail or something like that, which is simply unpleasant. Naruto's mystery, plus the fact that Naruto can call out the names of their tailed beasts, and Naruto promised them freedom, made it have a preliminary sense of identity with Naruto. Humph. I know, don't forget your promise, kid. Shikaku's voice sounded in Gaara's consciousness space, and was also conveyed to Naruto through Gaara. Old man Ludao, could he be that young boy? In Gaara's consciousness, Shikaku's eyes were blurred and he murmured, Naruto is still carrying out his plan, while Shisui is also developing rapidly. The existence of the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce has brought benefits to most civilians. At the same time, it has offended most of the nobles, and even touched the interests of some ministers of the country and even daimyo. Facing these people, Shisui will not take soft means. As long as he finds that these people are plundering the people's fat and blood, and even have many sins in secret, Shisui will use illusions to forcibly control these people. There are also many friendly people among the nobles, and there are not many acts of oppressing civilians. For these, Shisui will even take the initiative to cooperate with them and give them opportunities. Although they want to change the world, they are not irrational and hostile to the world. The Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce is in the light, and the Umbrella Organization is in the dark, and it is madly absorbing members. Each level represents different levels of talents, and it covers the whole world, not just ninjas. Sometimes high-end ordinary people, such as scientific and technological talents, are more important than ordinary ninjas. With the Kirigakure taking the blame, the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce is in its heyday, and the Umbrella Organization has been greatly developed. However, as long as it exists, people will eventually find traces of its existence, for example, a fat sheep who likes gambling. Tansho Street, a blonde loli is drinking, but her body is extremely hot. A legal loli, the chariot on her chest makes most people feel ashamed. At this moment, she is already drunk. Lady Tsunade, please drink less, we have no money. The speaker was an adult woman in a fishnet outfit, who looked slim and graceful, with skin as tender as water. At this moment, she said helplessly to the hot loli in front of her. Yes, the loli in front of her was Tsunade. Half an hour ago, Tsunade became like this in order to avoid gambling debts, but only her face changed. Her figure was still there, and the one holding the piglet beside her was naturally Shizun. Shizun, you drink too, this wine is really good. How did the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce develop such delicious wine? Drink, drink, ha 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 drink. Tsunade blushed as she looked at Shizun in front of her. Shizun, how did you become two? Shizun in front of Tsunade suddenly became a huge figure, dazzling, ha, ha, ha. Tsunade suddenly fell down, and even the transformation technique could not be maintained. Hey! There's really nothing I can do. Shizun looked at Tsunade helplessly. Come on. The big fat sheep is here. At this time, someone suddenly shouted outside the tavern. As the man shouted, the outside soon became restless. Shizun picked up Tsunade and disappeared the next moment. In the early morning of the rising sun, the breeze blew the yellow leaves, bringing the late autumn. Tsunade woke up with her head covered. What caught her eyes were the fallen sycamore leaves outside the window, scattered all over the ground. Looking around, it was obviously a country house. Tsunade vaguely remembered what happened last night, and then thought of the good wine last night, and couldn't help licking her lips. Looking into the distance, there was a group of people gathered, and I don't know what they were doing. Even Shizun was there. Tsunade got up curiously and walked over there. When she got a little closer, Tsunade finally heard what was being said inside. Villagers, you can send your children to our umbrella school to study for free. The adults said that studying is the way out. Those who perform well can be selected as ninjas. Even if you don't have one, you can still learn a skill and you won't have to worry about making a living in the future. The speaker is Shingo Tanaka. My name is Shingo Tanaka, an ordinary person who almost died. A man named Zabuza saved me. He looked very fierce. He told me that he was from Umbrella. He taught me the meaning of life and gave me a new life. Lord Zabuza said that it was not him who saved me, but another adult. You can call him the Lord of Truth, the source of hope, or the leader. The code name of the leader is Ming. And he handed him a book. The name of the book is Red Thought. The content of the book shocked him and made him find the meaning of life. After being recommended by Lord Zabuza, he came to Umbrella and became an Indigo level member. Finally, after training, he chose to become a messenger to spread ideas for the villagers, because he wanted more people to be saved. There was a kind of high-yield food in the organization. His contribution could be exchanged for some points, which could also be used to exchange for materials, and could also be used to upgrade the level. After a year, because of his enlightenment and contribution, he became a more glorious member of the Blue organization. He liked this job very much. He traveled among the villages, taught the villagers to read, provided convenience for the villagers, and spread the red thought at the same time. Chapter 70. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tsunade was mixed in the crowd, but she was not too conspicuous, because everyone present focused their attention on Tanaka Shingo, and was obviously attracted by everything Tanaka Shingo said. Only Shizun noticed Tsunade's arrival, and was signaled by Tsunade with her eyes not to say anything. The two continued to listen to what Tanaka Shingo said. For those who perform well, the organization will give you many benefits and even help you build a more beautiful house. You will have a house and you will have money. As long as you work hard and contribute to the organization, one day you will live in a big house of your own. Remember the tycoon Gen Hoshino? You can also live in the same luxurious house as him. Tanaka Shingo became more and more excited as he spoke, as if he was infected. Gen Hoshino was a well-known figure in the surrounding area. He was considered a rich man, but in fact he was just a small landlord. No one knew him outside the area. Shingo Tanaka used him as an example to mobilize everyone's enthusiasm. They were very excited to think that they could live in the same house as the tycoon. They all said, "Shingo, are you serious? Can we live in a big house like that?" Shingo Tanaka saw this and couldn't help but feel satisfied. The adult who taught him in the organization said that if you want others to work hard with you, you must not only talk about benefits, but also learn to paint a rosy picture. Shingo Tanaka deeply agrees with this. Although what he said was a bit exaggerated, the treatment is real, and it is also true that you can live in a big house, but only for a few people. After all, it is impossible for everyone to be an elite. However, even the most ordinary people can save money for a big house in a few years, which is better than being exploited by landlords or even nobles here all day long. Children can also have a better learning environment and become a more useful talent, and even become a ninja. In this world, the number of ninjas is actually not that large compared to ordinary people, and the power of ninjas also makes ordinary people very odd. Everyone, how could I lie to you? It's all true, but the adults are willing to help you. You also have to work hard. The adults are willing to lead everyone out of poverty and into prosperity. We may be the villains who forget their principles for the sake of profit. Tanaka Shingo warned, with a carrot in one hand and a stick in the other, so that they would know how valuable this opportunity is. In the following days, Tsunade and Shizun followed Tanaka Shingo secretly and witnessed Tanaka Shingo promoting the red ideology. At first, Tsunade was a little confused, but later she gradually discovered that the organization behind Tanaka Shingo seemed to be really not simple. The red ideology also shocked Tsunade. At the same time, he also learned about the levels of members of the umbrella organization: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and purple. In Tsunade's discovery, it seemed that every villager around had joined the umbrella organization and became the most ordinary purple member. Tsunade didn't know what the purpose of this organization recruiting these ordinary people was, and it didn't seem to care about them. It seemed that only the indigo level members were worth contacting. Tsunade kept following Tanaka Shingo and found that this person seemed to be really just for the good of these villagers. The behavior shown by the whole person also made Tsunade very appreciative. Although he was not a ninja, his heart was still admirable. This made Tsunade more and more curious about this organization that she had never heard of. Wave Country. Uchiha Shisui is having a meeting with Uchiha Yu, Zabuza, and some other key members. How's the expansion going recently? That with the passage of time and the growth of the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce, Umbrella began a steady expansion policy under the guidance of Naruto and the leadership of a group of leaders such as Shisui. Zabuza stood up and spoke slowly. It's satisfactory. Some places have been promoted smoothly, but some places are still not so easy. Some civilians don't trust us very much. In addition, the speed of recruiting ninjas is getting slower and slower, and the ninjas we trained ourselves have not grown up yet. Zabuza briefly introduced the situation he was responsible for. After Zabuza finished speaking, Uchiha Yu stood up again and said happily, "The situation here is very good. The number of members has greatly increased, and at the same time, several mechanical talents have been recruited. And in some areas, our ideas have been regarded as the light of hope. In addition, we have recruited two special talents, Kato Shizun and Kato Shizuka, who are medical ninjas who have mastered the Palm Immortal technique." Uchiha Yu looked at Zabuza and smiled proudly, squinting his eyes, as if to say, "I performed better than you." But Zabuza didn't care about his mood, which made him curl his hands. "Have you checked their backgrounds?" "You." Shisui nodded with satisfaction. They were in great need of medical ninjas, especially those who had mastered the Palm Immortal technique. There were not many such ninjas in the 5 major ninja villages, so Shisui was a little worried that they were spies sent in by others. "No, aren't there enough homeless people in the ninja world? My subordinates just reported it, and I haven't had time to investigate it yet." You said helplessly. Shisui nodded and said, "Leave these 2 people to me for personal investigation." Senior members of the Umbrella organization must be tested to prevent spies from other ninja villages or other organizations from infiltrating. And the structure of the entire organization is in an umbrella shape, with the central umbrella being the absolute position led by Naruto. Then it will gradually spread. Each level will not know too much information across levels, and many small bases have been established, with funds coming from the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce. The main reason for doing this is to spread the red ideology and slowly change people's thinking, not to bring them all into the organization. This makes some people depressed, such as Tsunade. She originally wanted to infiltrate the Umbrella organization to find out who can create such a shocking theory and see through the essence of the ninja world in the most fundamental way. Tsunade thinks it might be a wise man who has studied for a long time, or a very old man. But now, what makes her most helpless is she can't contact the upper level at all. They said they had to wait for notification because they didn't know the existence of their superiors. Most of them were in single-line contact, and they had a set of secret codes for contact. Such a meticulous operation method made Tsunade panic, because you don't know whether any ordinary person around you is a member of this organization. No one will pay attention to an ordinary person unless this ordinary person is particularly different. This organization is like a big net spread in the ninja world. When the net is closed, it will definitely burst out with unimaginable power. Tsunade was thinking about the power and meaning behind this organization. As for Shizun, in addition to being shocked by the concept, he also thought that this organization was good because he saw many ordinary people being helped by the Umbrella organization. To their surprise, the Umbrella organization seemed to have a vague connection with the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce. It was not conspicuous, but it definitely existed.